According to electrical code, specifically concerning the means of support for luminaires, using tie wire, which is typically employed for tying rebar together, is not an acceptable method for supporting a luminaire. Section 410.16 of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses the requirements for supporting luminaires. The code mandates that the luminaire manufacturer must specify the appropriate materials and methods for supporting the luminaire. This requirement ensures that the support system is adequately rated for the weight and intended use of the luminaire, by preventing potential hazards such as the luminaire falling. Tie wire, in general, is not listed for supporting luminaires. The term listed in the context of electrical components and installations means that the equipment or material has been evaluated by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, OIL, and found to comply with specific safety standards. This listing ensures that the product meets minimum safety requirements for its intended application. When a luminaire is installed, it must be supported by methods and materials that have been evaluated and listed for that purpose. The listing provides assurance that the support system can safely bear the weight of the luminaire, withstand environmental factors, and maintain its structural integrity over time. The luminaire manufacturer typically provides instructions and specifications for acceptable support methods. These instructions may include the use of specific types of mounting brackets, chains, rods, or other hardware that have been tested and approved for use with that particular luminaire. Following the manufacturer's instructions is crucial for ensuring a safe and code-compliant installation. When selecting a support method, it is essential to consider the weight of the luminaire, the type of ceiling or structure to which it will be attached, and any other relevant factors. For example, in suspended ceiling applications, luminaires must be supported independently of the ceiling grid using appropriate support wires or chains that are attached to the building structure above. The NEC provides specific guidelines for supporting luminaires in suspended ceilings to prevent the ceiling grid from being overloaded or damaged. Using tie wire to support a luminaire would violate the NEC because tie wire is not listed for that application. Tie wire is typically made of steel and is used to bind rebar together in concrete structures. While tie wire may be strong enough to hold the weight of a luminaire, it has not been evaluated for that purpose and does not provide the same level of safety and reliability as listed support methods. Additionally, tie wire may be susceptible to corrosion or other forms of degradation over time, which could compromise its ability to support the luminaire safely. To ensure code-compliant and safe installation, it is imperative to use only listed support methods and materials that are specifically designed for supporting luminaires. This includes following the manufacturer's instructions and adhering to all applicable requirements of the NEC. By doing so, potential hazards can be minimized, and the integrity of the electrical system can be maintained. In summary, while tie wire may seem like a convenient or readily available option for supporting a luminaire, it is not an acceptable method according to electrical code. The luminaire manufacturer must specify the appropriate support methods, and only listed materials and hardware should be used to ensure safe and code-compliant installation. Always refer to the NEC and the manufacturer's instructions for specific requirements and guidelines. To elaborate further on the NEC requirements for luminaire support, it is important to understand the different types of luminaires and their specific support needs. For example, recessed luminaires, which are installed within a ceiling or wall, typically have integral mounting hardware that is designed to support the luminaire within the opening. The mounting hardware must be securely attached to the surrounding structure to prevent the luminaire from falling out. Surface-mounted luminaires, which are attached to the surface of a ceiling or wall, typically require mounting brackets or straps that are securely fastened to the building structure. The mounting hardware must be capable of supporting the weight of the luminaire and withstanding any vibrations or stresses that may occur. Suspended luminaires, which are hung from the ceiling by chains, rods, or wires, require a robust support system that can safely bear the weight of the luminaire and prevent it from swaying or tilting. The support system must be securely attached to the building structure above and must be capable of withstanding any wind loads or other external forces that may act on the luminaire. In all cases, it is crucial to use only listed support methods and materials that are specifically designed for the type of luminaire being installed. This includes using the correct size and type of fasteners, such as screws, bolts, or anchors, to attach the mounting hardware to the building structure. The fasteners must be appropriate for the type of material being fastened to, such as wood, concrete, or metal, and must be installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. It is also important to consider the environmental conditions in which the luminaire will be installed. For example, in damp or wet locations, such as bathrooms or outdoor areas, the support system must be made of corrosion-resistant materials to prevent it from deteriorating over time. In areas subject to vibration or impact, the support system must be designed to withstand those forces without failing. In addition to the NEC requirements for luminaire support, there may also be local building codes or regulations that apply. These local codes may impose additional requirements or restrictions on the types of support methods that can be used in certain areas. It is important to check with the local building department to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. When installing luminaires, it is always best to err on the side of caution and use a support system that is stronger and more robust than necessary. This will help to ensure that the luminaire remains securely in place and that there is no risk of it falling or causing injury. It is also important to inspect the support system periodically to ensure that it is still in good condition and that there are no signs of wear or damage. If any problems are detected, they should be addressed immediately to prevent potential hazards. In summary, the NEC provides specific requirements for supporting luminaires to ensure that they are installed safely and securely. These requirements include using listed support methods and materials, following the manufacturer's instructions, and complying with all applicable codes and regulations. By adhering to these guidelines, potential hazards can be minimized and the integrity of the electrical system can be maintained. Furthermore, consider the long-term implications of using non-listed support methods. While tie wire might seem like a quick and inexpensive solution, it can lead to more significant problems down the line. Firstly, using non-listed materials can void the warranty of the luminaire. Manufacturers often specify that their products must be installed according to their instructions and using approved components. Failure to comply can result in the warranty being nullified, leaving the owner responsible for any repairs or replacements. Secondly, insurance companies may refuse to cover damages or liabilities resulting from installations that do not meet code requirements. If a luminaire supported by tie wire falls and causes damage or injury, the insurance company may deny the claim, leaving the property owner to bear the financial burden. Thirdly, the use of non-listed support methods can create a safety hazard for occupants of the building. A falling luminaire can cause serious injury or even death, and the property owner can be held liable for any resulting damages. Therefore, it is always advisable to invest in proper, listed support materials and methods to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone involved. When selecting support methods, it is also important to consider the aesthetic aspects of the installation. While safety is the primary concern, the support system should also be visually appealing and blend in with the overall design of the space. Exposed wires or makeshift supports can detract from the appearance of the luminaire and the surrounding area. There are many different types of support hardware available that are both functional and aesthetically pleasing. These include decorative chains, sleek mounting brackets, and concealed wiring systems. By choosing the right support hardware, it is possible to create an installation that is both safe and visually appealing. In addition to the NEC requirements and the manufacturer's instructions, it is also important to consider the recommendations of qualified electrical contractors. These professionals have the knowledge and experience to assess the specific requirements of each installation and recommend the most appropriate support methods. They can also ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Hiring a qualified electrical contractor is a worthwhile investment that can save time, money, and potential headaches in the long run. In summary, supporting luminaires safely and effectively requires careful consideration of several factors, including the NEC requirements, the manufacturer's instructions, the type of luminaire, the environmental conditions, and the aesthetic aspects of the installation. By following these guidelines and seeking the advice of qualified professionals, it is possible to create an installation that is both safe and visually appealing. Always prioritize safety and compliance over cost or convenience, and never compromise on the quality of the support system. In the context of electrical safety, remember that seemingly minor deviations from code can have significant consequences. The purpose of the NEC and other electrical codes is to minimize the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. These codes are based on years of experience and research, and they are constantly updated to reflect the latest technological advancements in safety practices. Therefore, it is essential to take these codes seriously and to adhere to them strictly. When it comes to Luminaire support, the NEC requirements are designed to ensure that luminaires are securely mounted and that there is no risk of them falling or causing injury. Using tie wire or other non-listed materials may seem like a harmless shortcut, but it can compromise the safety of the installation and create a potential hazard for occupants of the building. Therefore, it is always best to follow the NEC requirements and to use listed support methods and materials. Furthermore, remember that electrical work is not a do-it-yourself project. It requires specialized knowledge and skills, and it can be dangerous if not performed correctly. If you are not a qualified electrical contractor, it is best to leave electrical work to the professionals. They have the training, experience, and tools to perform the work safely and effectively. In addition to the safety aspects of luminaire support, it is also important to consider the energy efficiency of the lighting system. Luminaires that are not properly supported can be misaligned, which can reduce their effectiveness and waste energy. For example, if a recessed luminaire is not flush with the ceiling, it can leak light into the plenum space above, which is wasted energy. Similarly, if a surface-mounted luminaire is not securely attached to the ceiling, it can vibrate and cause the light output to flicker, which can be distracting and uncomfortable for occupants of the building. By ensuring that luminaires are properly supported and aligned, it is possible to optimize their energy efficiency and reduce energy costs. This can be achieved by using high-quality support hardware, following the manufacturer's instructions, and periodically inspecting the installation to ensure that everything is in good condition. In summary, luminaire support is an important aspect of electrical safety and energy efficiency. By following the NEC requirements, using listed support methods and materials, and seeking the advice of qualified professionals, it is possible to create an installation that is both safe and energy efficient. Always prioritize safety and compliance over cost or convenience, and never compromise on the quality of the support system. And remember that electrical work is not a do-it-yourself project. It requires specialized knowledge and skills, and it can be dangerous if not performed correctly. Therefore, it is always best to leave electrical work to the professionals. Continuing the discussion on the importance of proper luminaire support, it's valuable to emphasize the role of regular inspections and maintenance. Even if a luminaire is initially installed correctly with listed materials, the support system can degrade over time due to various factors such as vibration, corrosion, or physical impact. Therefore, it's crucial to conduct periodic inspections to identify any signs of wear, damage, or loosening of the support hardware. During these inspections, pay close attention to the following areas. Firstly, check for any signs of corrosion on the support brackets, chains, or wires. Corrosion can weaken the support system and increase the risk of failure. If corrosion is present, clean the affected areas and apply a corrosion-resistant coating. In severe cases, the support hardware may need to be replaced. Secondly, inspect the fasteners, such as screws, bolts, or anchors, to ensure that they are still securely tightened. Vibration or physical impact can cause fasteners to loosen over time, which can compromise the stability of the luminaire. If any fasteners are loose, tighten them to the manufacturer's recommended torque specifications. Thirdly, examine the support wires or chains for any signs of fraying, kinking, or stretching. These conditions can weaken the support system and increase the risk of failure. If any damage is present, replace the affected wires or chains immediately. Fourthly, check for any signs of physical damage to the luminaire housing or lens. Damage to the luminaire can affect its stability and increase the risk of it falling. If any damage is present, repair or replace the luminaire as necessary. In addition to these visual inspections, it's also important to perform functional tests to ensure that the luminaire is operating properly. This includes checking the light output, color temperature, and dimming performance. If any problems are detected, troubleshoot the luminaire and make any necessary repairs or adjustments. The frequency of these inspections will depend on the specific application and environmental conditions. For example, luminaires installed in high vibration environments or corrosive atmospheres may require more frequent inspections than those installed in stable, indoor environments. As a general guideline, it's recommended to inspect luminaires at least once a year. In addition to regular inspections, it's also important to perform preventative maintenance to keep the luminaires operating at peak performance. This includes cleaning the lenses and reflectors to remove any dirt or debris that can reduce light output. It also includes lubricating any moving parts such as hinges or latches to ensure smooth operation. By performing regular inspections and preventative maintenance, you can extend the lifespan of your luminaires, reduce energy costs, and ensure the safety of your building occupants. Remember, proper luminaire support is not just a one-time installation task. It's an ongoing process that requires regular attention and maintenance. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your luminaires remain securely mounted and operating at peak performance for many years to come. Furthermore, consider the advancements in luminaire technology and their implications for support methods. For example, LED luminaires are becoming increasingly popular due to their energy efficiency and long lifespan. However, LED luminaires often have different weight and mounting requirements compared to traditional luminaires. Therefore, it's important to consult the manufacturer's specifications and use support methods that are specifically designed for LED luminaires. Similarly, smart luminaires, which incorporate sensors and controls, may have additional wiring and mounting requirements. It's important to ensure that the support system can accommodate these additional components and that the wiring is properly protected. As luminaire technology continues to evolve, it's important to stay informed about the latest advancements and their implications for support methods. This includes attending industry conferences, reading trade publications, and consulting with qualified electrical contractors. By staying up to date on the latest technology, you can ensure that your luminaire installations are safe, efficient, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. In conclusion, proper luminaire support is a critical aspect of electrical safety, energy efficiency, and overall building performance. By following the NEC requirements, using listed support methods and materials, performing regular inspections and maintenance, and staying informed about the latest technology, you can ensure that your luminaires remain securely mounted and operating at peak performance for many years to come. Always prioritize safety and compliance over cost or convenience, and never compromise on the quality of the support system. And remember that electrical work is not a do-it-yourself project. It requires specialized knowledge and skills, and it can be dangerous if not performed correctly. Therefore, it is always best to leave electrical work to the professionals.